This is episode 2 of a series I'm calling the Working Mum Files. So my name is Tommy Elsie. I am employed full-time. I work in financial services and I have 2 children, a 5 and a 3-year-old. So my eldest is in year 1 and my youngest is in preschool. And being a mum, working full-time at quite a senior level, being a wife, a friend, being the one responsible for organisation at home and in both my professional and personal life is intense, but I have various things in place that allow me to be super organised. I pretty much love a spreadsheet and it helps me get through. But that's not why we're here today. Today I really wanted to talk about mum guilt versus the glass ceiling. So I put a little preview on my Instagram yesterday and the comments, the DMs, and a lot of people have a lot to say on this topic, and I think it's really nice that we can discuss it. So let's get into it. I'm going to insert here the clip that I shared on Instagram. Apologies in advance because it is in portrait, and then I'm going to continue from there. So have a watch of this. It's just under a minute, so that you understand what I'm talking about and we can dive into it. Mum guilt versus glass ceiling. Now, every single mum suffers from mum guilt. I know I do. It's the assemblies, it's sports day, it's coffee and chit chat, it's the school run, it's everyone being picked up at 3 o'clock, but you send them to after school club and picking them up at 6 o'clock. It's hard. But on the flip side, you have the glass ceiling. So you need to be visible at work. You need to add value in the meetings. You need to show up. You need to be seen. But then at the same time, there's only a certain level you're going to get to, because there's going to be a situation where you have to choose between your job and your kid. And who are you going to choose? The kid or the job? Do you know what I mean? You need the money to support the family, but your kids are going to be there forever and they need to come first. You don't want to be harming your children to the point where they have anxiety, they have issues that they then have to go to therapy to recover from later. So what do you choose? So rather than harping on about the guilt we feel and the glass ceiling and limitations, I thought, what kind of things can be done to mitigate that? So what can you do so that when you're having those thoughts or those feelings, or you're going through the motions and you're thinking, I want to set my kids up for the future, but I also want to be here in the now, like what is the option? And it's flexible working. I think gone are the days where people are expected to be in the office 5 days a week, and yeah, you do have to be in office 5 days a week for some job roles, but there are trade-offs, right? So you can do compressed hours, you can do job sharing, you can work part-time, and all of these things may take a hit on your ego. If you're job sharing or you're doing compressed hours, there's going to be a lot that you miss out on. So you're going to miss out the socials after work, potentially. You're going to miss out on being the one. So the person who's responsible for the peaks and troughs. So when things are going wrong, you're responsible, but when things are going well, you're responsible. Whereas if you job share, you share the difficulties, but then you also have to share the praise, and that for you might be the kind of person where that doesn't work for you. So there are going to be trade-offs, but you need to think about it, right? We can't be everything. Like this notion or this idea is that I can have it all and I'll be perfect and I'll be standing and nothing's going to faze me. I think it is really dangerous. I think it's a really dangerous rhetoric. I think it's a really dangerous way of thinking or living, because there are going to be times that you feel like you're unbreakable, like you're the strongest woman in the world, like you can do everything. But then there's going to be a time where something goes wrong at work. It could be the tiniest thing, like you misplaced a comma or you didn't attach the document and then you had to follow up with an email saying, I'm so sorry, I forgot to attach it. And that could be the thing that throws you. And there's going to be a time that you're going to feel like, I can't do it all. I can't be everything for everybody. So where we can kind of alleviate the stress, let's do it. Like me personally, I have a really good community around me, both personally and professionally. Like I'll have to say, in all of the jobs I've been in and in all the different levels I've been at, you see both men and women that have their non-negotiables. So I remember a few years ago when my husband was working and he told me that a senior manager used to have their calendar blocked out every Wednesday at a certain time because they took their son swimming. And I thought, yeah, he's going to get praised for that. If a woman done that, I don't think we'd get praised. That would be brought up, or it would be like, you're getting paid for 40 hours of work and that's an hour in a week. How are you doing your 40 hours? Do you get what I mean? But then equally, I've seen in many places I've worked, which made me have to eat my words, men say stuff like, I'm not coming to this meeting. It's a high stakes meeting, but it's my child's first day at school, for example, or I have parents' evening, and that comes first. That's way more important to me. So I'm not gonna reschedule the meeting to suit me. I'm just gonna have to excuse myself from this meeting, read the notes, and I'm really sorry that I can't be there, but I want to be there for my son's first day at school, or for parents' evening, or for that uniform shopping. And I'm just like, do you know what? I respect that. I appreciate it. I still don't feel comfortable to do it. I'm not gonna lie. I still don't feel. I don't know. Maybe it's like an old mentality I have. Like I really admire my mum and the way that she worked, and it's like you're not gonna go uniform shopping or doing these things in your working hours. Like find time around it. So to a degree, I do that. Um, or you take a day off, you take a half day. If you have an appointment, you have an appointment, but there's going to be certain things that you're just going to have to work around or excuse yourself from, or just be honest with your circumstance. Because I always say, if I'm well, my husband's well, my children's well, my household's well, my performance at work will be well. But if I'm not okay, if I'm not well, it will start to leak and seep into all of those different areas, and it's not going to be good for anyone. So that's why I really admire places I've worked where you have like mental health well-being days where you can take a day off so that you can go and just go to a spa, or even not even do anything, maybe just be home and be at one with your thoughts. But it's like I just need to tap out for a moment. Or there are times that me and my husband tag team. There'll be a weekend or a day of the an evening in the week, or a weekend where I'm gonna have this day for myself. Can you go and do something with the kids? And me personally, I like to use it to clean, to do the washing, to do errands. Sometimes to have a lay-in, to go to the spa, to go get my hair done, a quick hour here or there to go and do your nails. And I think communication, having a really tight operation at home, and just working as a family, working as a team, like it can work. And don't get me wrong, you're still gonna have mum guilt. I have so many friends who are stay-at-home mums. They love it. They're hardworking women. They're amazing, but they still have mum guilt in some areas. And I always thought my job is why I have mum guilt. But take away the job, they still have elements of mum guilt. And the glass ceiling, I hate to use excuses for things. I hate to say um, that I would have been a footballer if I didn't. That excuse. I hate people that use excuses for why they're not doing well or progressing. But I will have to say, from personal experiences and observing others, there is only so far you're going to get if you do the bare minimum. So if you're not trying to understand or know your colleagues, if you're not going out for those drinks, if you're not available, there's going to be opportunities that you're just not going to get, or you're not even going to know exist. So that's why I have to say that mom guilt versus the glass ceiling is appropriate, because sometimes you're going to choose your kids. Not sometimes. I always choose my kids, and that means that I run a tight operations. It's a tight ship. Like if I'm going to work, I'm going to work. I need to come home. I can't do the ad hoc drinks most of the time unless it's planned in advance. And then I put it in the diary. I put it in my work diary. I put it in my joint diary. Like okay, this event's happening. This is happening. I'm gonna be home late today. So make sure you do this. You do this. You do this. And it's a tight operation. And I'm sure there's been many a times that I've missed out on conversations or opportunities because I've made those decisions. And I'm okay with that. But if you're not, then you're going to have to figure it out, sis, because you can't have it all.